The season of Advent has been celebrated since around the 4th century AD, when Christmas was fixed on the 25th of December. It has usually been marked by prayer and fasting, though less than in the lead up to Easter, hence the popular name Little Lent. There have been special Advent prayers and music, and for the novena before Christmas, cockcrow masses and O antiphons. Churches and priests were traditionally dressed up in penitential violet for these weeks and then decorated, the churches that is, not the priests, with wreaths and candles. In northern England, poor women used to visit people's homes in Advent with dolls of Mary and the baby Jesus, expecting a halfpenny from the householder and threatening the ungenerous with a year of bad luck. Throughout Italy and elsewhere, more and more elaborate nativity scenes are erected through Advent. And in Calabria, bagpipes are played at Marian shrines, possibly to help bring on the Virgin's labour. So much for pious custom. But what is Advent really about? Our word comes from the Latin adventus, meaning coming or arrival, and indicating a season of watching. The Seventh-day Adventists famously await the Lord's return at any moment. We too sing hymns of longing like "Come, O come, Emmanuel." Yet Latin scholars will immediately notice that the word adventus is in the past tense. It's as if the one we await has already come. Coming or come? Which is it? How do we reconcile this tension? Well, we partly solve the paradox by acknowledging that God is not bound by sequence and duration as we are. The mystics say past, present and future are eternally now to God. The theologians recognise this also, as when Aquinas taught that in the one moment of the sacred banquet of the Mass, we remember Christ's passion past, we receive his grace presently, and we are promised his glory in the future. The liturgy also acknowledges these multiple time zones, as when on Easter night the priest traces the cross, the first and last letters of the Greek alphabet and the year on the new paschal candle, while saying, "Christ, yesterday and today, the beginning and the end, Alpha and Omega. All time and all ages belong to him, to whom be glory and sovereignty through every age, forever." The secret to this season of Advent, then, lies in the tension in its very name. And this, in turn, tells us something important about ourselves. Advent points not to one, but three comings of Christ. One coming that is in the past, when Christ came 2,000 years ago as a helpless babe. Hence the prophet Isaiah named him in our first reading today, the ancient Redeemer, One coming is in the future, when Christ will return in glory. Hence that same prophet's prayer, "Return, O Lord, for the sake of your servants. Tear open the heavens and come down." And one coming is in the present, when Christ is here amongst us in word and sacrament, in minister and community, in creation and redemption. 3 comings then, each a divine gift, and each with its particular effects in us, which, when they become habitual, are theological virtues in our character. Let me explain. That Christ has already come is something we know by faith. The more we ponder that coming in Advent and throughout the liturgical year, depth its mystery, and proclaim it to others in our words and deeds, the more faithful and faith-filled we become. That Christ will come again is something for which we hope. And the more we anticipate that coming with longing and excitement, the more we pray for it and help bring it about by making God's kingdom come and will be done in our lives, the more hopeful and hope-giving we will be. And that Christ is here among us now. Come to our church, our families, our own hearts today, is something that evokes our love. And the more we know and serve him in the here and now, the closer he comes to us, the more loving and lovely we become. So there's guard duty to be done, our gospel suggests today. And any guard worth his salt looks backwards and forwards, but only so he can see what is right before him. Be on guard, watching and waiting, ready and willing, right now, Jesus says. Though we know not the when of that day and hour, we do know the who that is coming. Our Father Redeemer. And so our Advent is pregnant with expectation, longing, love. Like an excited pet dog watching the door, listening for the car, awaiting the return of the master, the church waits with its tail wagging. So the ambiguity at the heart of the name of our season is no accident. Advent reminds us that God is eternally now, past, future, above all, present. That the life he shares with us that we call grace is therefore long ago received, long ahead promised, but above all, experienced here and now, sustaining us every moment of every day, egging us on to more and to better, and enabling the achievement of those holy ambitions. It takes a whole season to get into that divine relationship with time. Indeed, you might say it takes a a lifetime. When you are young, time seems to pass slowly, too slowly, especially when you're waiting for your Christmas presents. When you are old, like me, Christmas starts coming around, it seems, like every 6 months. The child needs patience to endure the wait. The adult needs prudence to make the most of what time remains. But at every stage, the gift we most need is time itself. And not just any old time, but God's good time, as it was in the beginning, now and ever shall be. So today, and in the days ahead, look backwards and forwards. Look backwards to the first Christmas as you erect your cribs and decorate your trees, as you pick and post Christmas cards with the Nativity on the front, not just happy holiday cards. Look forwards to Christmas ahead by getting in the party food and wrapping the presents, planning whom you'll bring to the lights of Christmas and our concerts, and especially the midnight mass. And as you look backwards and forwards, avoid your head spinning by doing something extra in Advent, something spiritual. And by spiritual, I don't mean drinking more spirits at office parties. Try some extra prayer, like Mass and confession, or our Advent prayer, the Angelus, each noontime. Try some fasting, perhaps in proportion to the feasting ahead or already begun. Practice your carols. Remember that the one who has long come and is yet long to come is also here, right now. Come to a pew, an office, and a home near you.